Guys, I am on the way to an existing customer. We did a few properties for this customer. I think he has about like 6 or 7 of them. I don't know what we've done here before at this particular property. I didn't look at the notes, but the landlord called and said that the tenant called last night and said that the heat stopped working and the thermostat is at like 50 degrees. All I know is that this is a gas boiler. Guys, I am almost there right now. Let's go take a look. I'll see y'all when I get there. According to the tenant, they just moved down here a few days ago and they turned this heat on, and she said it's not going up to 72 degrees. This is a Utica, 75,000 BTU, spark ignition, and the landlord said he tried to light something, but that's not necessary with a spark. I hear my pump running. And whoa, looks like this thing is off on limit, but there's no water. That's not good. Tell you what, where's my feeder? Right here. Guys, tell you what, I gotta call the landlord. I gotta make sure nothing's leaking upstairs. I don't see any signs of water damage down here. That definitely would have led to a obvious scenario, but and we got to lower the cutoff back there, which is good. Guys, tell you what, let me get more info. I'll be back. I spoke with the landlord. This place was vacant for a few months. I think someone else was here last winter, but they didn't report any issues. But guys, it was weird. We got 0 PSI on the boiler. My loader cutoff is not active, meaning it's not turning the burners off. And all my pipes are hot. Supply and return. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Let me get my temperature gun and let's check some radiators and baseboards upstairs. Pretty sure they got radiator, or they got baseboards since there's ISO valves down here. But tell you what, let's go upstairs, guys. I'll be back, guys. I just spoke with the landlord, and basically what I explained earlier, it lines up perfectly. He said that the gas was off, and he turned the gas on. This had to have been yesterday or 2 days ago. He turned the gas on, and the pilot didn't start. So he said he turned the panel off. We took the panel off. He tried to relight something, and it didn't work. And he said a few minutes later it turned on. I'm pretty sure the spark ignition box locked out the ignition because of no gas, and eventually after he turned it on, after having the gas turned on, that might have purged the air out the pilot line, and eventually it lit. That part is good, but right now all the pipes are hot. But one thing I'm concerned about is my feeder. You see that with the handle? When you lift the feeder up, you don't hear water pass through inside the boiler. And I traced my feed line back, as you see here. There's a gate valve here, and there's another one on the other side. And the packing nut was loose. I tightened up the packing, but guys, with every valve open from my inlet cold line, if the handle on that feeder, if you got it open and you don't hear any water, chances are you got to replace the feeder. Now, surprisingly, the pipes are hot with no water inside this boiler, but this is an educational call, guys. You see crazy things all the time, especially with older boilers in the winter. How long this thing was working like this, who knows? But guys, having a boiler run with no water, eventually it's going to cause premature wear and tear on the heat exchanger, because think about it, water is the medium that keeps the boiler cold, meaning once the internal temperature on the boiler goes up, water is how this boiler dispels the heat from the boiler itself up into the living space. But if you don't have water, now guess what? The internal temperature goes up, and if this boiler can't dispel heat properly, now this is going to add wear and tear on your external controls and also the heat exchanger. So instead of this boiler lasting 20 to 25 years, the customer may be lucky to get 10 years out of it. So guys, anytime you're doing maintenance or if you're doing no heat calls on a boiler, if you don't have enough water pressure, treat this as a separate issue. Nothing inside this boiler is going to cause the water pressure to go down besides a leak. There is no leaks, but we also can add water to this boiler, and that's 100% on the water feeder. But my low water cutoff is hooked up correctly and it's not active, which is weird. So I thought the whole time maybe something was going on with my pressure gauge, but guys, with everything wide open and my entire line from my cold inlet line to my feeder, everything is open and I don't hear water, chances are something's going on with that feeder. But at this point, guys, what I'm going to do is, I told the landlord I'm going to check this out. We're going to recommend replacing the feeder. And I think, like I said, by him resetting the boiler, that got the pipe form. But another thing, I informed the tenant upstairs to keep the baseboards clutter free. Every single baseboard on the first and second floor is above 100 degrees. So, guys, right now we're getting overnight temps in the single digits. So they're going to need this heat working. Last thing they want to do is turn this off and have the pipes freeze. But either me or one of my other guys will come back here, if not tomorrow, then Friday, to replace that feeder. And I want to check my pump here. This is a 007. Oh, 0.3. Cool. Just when you thought you seen it all, guys, look at this. This is my automatic feeder. And if you trace this line back, there is a gate valve here, and there's another one here. I turned both gate valves on, turned on that feeder, nothing. You would assume the feeder is bad, right? But then, look at my return. There's a second feeder here, and this is what actually adds water to the boiler. Guys, just when you thought you seen it all, a boiler, a residential boiler with multiple feeders. I don't know which one came first. I'm pretty sure the automatic feeder was here initially, and then they just put in this ball valve here as a secondary. You know, another thing they could have did here was piped in the bypass. Couple fittings, couple elbows, put a ball valve underneath it. 2 for the price of 1. But what do I know, guys? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the maintenance here while I'm at it. And right now my burners are fired up and my supply temp dropped, which is great. So guys, I'm gonna do the maintenance here. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I did the maintenance, everything's rocking and rolling. Is this boiler brand new? Nope. But will it make it to see another year? You bet it. You bet it. But yeah guys, that's all there is to it. What I think happened in conjunction with the gas probably being turned off, the fact that I didn't have any pressure in the boiler. I'm pretty sure my low water cutoff turned off the burners. Based on this finding the burners running with no water in the boiler, I'm pretty sure this low water cutoff was going to turn this boiler off eventually. But luckily we was able to see this before any future damage occurred to the boiler, which is great. But most importantly, we got adequate water levels and we should be good to go. You know, another thing I'm gonna do, right when I added water to the boiler, I noticed my drain valve was leaking. But nonetheless, I got drain caps on the truck. I'm gonna just put in the drain cap and we should be good to go here. All right, guys. This was a relatively simple service call. We found a boiler running, starved, no water. We added water to the boiler. We verified all the baseboards are hot upstairs. There's no air inside the system. We did the maintenance, and this customer is good to go. But all right, guys, let me get the cap for this drain valve. Let me do the paperwork, and I gotta head to the next one. This is gonna be a long day. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.